doing well. I know, we're excited to get back to game week. We had a good week last week, really 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Had a lot of fundamental work done. And, we gave the guys off Friday, Saturday, which I think is always good, particularly after you've been working 2 months straight, just to get them 2 days to clear their head mentally and come back ready to go. And Sunday we practiced yesterday, had a good practice, and it'll be a good week for us this week. So I think looking ahead, Boston College this week, they you sit back and for us we get to watch some football as well, and that's obviously one of the games you look at. But we know they're going to be a very physical football team, coached well. Kids play very hard, and we're maybe they're the top rushing team in the conference coming in, and so we kind of know what we're going to get from them. The quarterback's been playing good as well, so they put a lot of pressure on defenses. You try to slow up to stop the run. Next thing you know, they're throwing the ball over the top. The quarterback's been very efficient. I think he threw his first pick for the season this past weekend against Wake, threw 2 actually, but moved the ball well, had 533 yards against Wake. So, we know it's a really good offense we're going to be facing. And then defensively, I thought they played their best game against Wake Forest this past week. Wake's offense has been one of the hottest offenses in the country. I thought he did a good job of containing them. Made it really hard on Wake. I think the difference in the game was Wake on third down. Wake was, I think, 17 for 23 on third down, which is unheard of. But their quarterback at Wake's playing really at a high level. So, but it was a good football game. Either team had a chance to win. So we know, we're going to get obviously a really tough contest for us this weekend. The key will be stopping the run. There's no question about it. So trying to slow down those 2 backs. Dylan's 250 pounds and the backup's 240 pounds. So it's like tackling linebackers coming through there. So, we're excited about this week and look forward to get going.
What's your health situation?
Well, we're pretty healthy. The 2 quarterbacks, was obviously probably what you're asking about, I think. But they, both guys were out yesterday. Puma's kind of been out there in practice throwing, not really running around, and it's kind of the same right now. He's getting better every day, but it's a very slow healing process with him. Malik looked a lot better. Malik was out in cleats, running around Sunday. Not full speed yet, but I would anticipate him being ready to go Tuesday's practice tomorrow. He's, so he's getting better and better and better. So, I would say really kind of like we were going into our last game, Florida State game. Very similar, although Puma's a lot further along, and so will Puma be ready? Again, remains to be seen, but he's getting closer.
Go ahead. When you have 2 quarterbacks, really since fall camp, both of them haven't been healthy. Do you do anything in practice differently in terms of just trying to get those guys reps, or is it tough for those guys to get familiar with the area?
Well, we try to do whatever they can do. We want them to do. That's kind of what we're talking about with Puma. Puma's been out there and he's throwing some routes to receivers and stuff because we want him to get out there. And then at Sunday's practice, Malik's out there doing the same thing, and whatever they can do, we'll allow them to do. Malik did a little bit more Sunday, and I would anticipate him being able to go full practice like this week, tomorrow. So whatever they're able to do physically, we want them to get out there and do it. I think for a couple of reasons. I think obviously it keeps them kind of in the swing of things, but it also helps them mentally to know that, hey, I'm getting closer. And I think that's probably the key. But but Evan Conley's been getting a ton of reps, which has been good for him. And and if he has to go out and play, I feel very confident for him to be able to go out and make plays and move our offense. So, we'll see. We talk about it. Whoever's healthy and gives us the best chance to move the offense, that's who will play.
You talking about the key is stopping the run. You talking about first down mainly and keep them in second long situations? Is there a yards per carry number that you shoot for?
Well, that's a huge deal. You may bring up a good point. I think first down is going to be critical this week because if they're able to stay, second and medium now, their whole playbook's in. And now obviously third down is short. They don't have one problem. Trying to get a first down with that scenario. The problem with the big backs is you look up, you think you stopped him, and the next thing it's 2nd and 5. He just fell forward for 5 yards. It is very imperative this week that we game tackle. It's extremely difficult as you watch the film from him and one guy trying to bring him down. You have to go low. If you go high on him, he's going to drag you. But we have to gang tackle both of these backs, and they keep the pressure on you. It's a difficult scheme to stop.
Scott, when you talk about the quarterbacks, there's been other quarterbacks around the country that have been hurt, and the depth has been talked about a lot with you. You said you wanted 5 quarterbacks in the room, and I'm assuming this is the reason because you don't know how many you're going to use.
Oh, man, it's exactly right. That's why you have to have 5. If you go look, and we've talked about this, all the contender football teams have good quarterbacks. I mean, NFL, college, high school, if you got a good trigger man and that can move the ball in order to eventually get points, you got an opportunity to win games. You have to score points. And if you get great quarterback play, then it gives you a great opportunity. I don't care how good your defense is. So you better have more quarterbacks there because the guy's going to get dinged up. You look at Florida State, great example. The one player gets knocked out by us, and then the other kid comes in and plays lights out. And then he started this past week and 3 more touchdown passes and had a great game, 300-some yards. So you better have those next guys that can play quarterback. And and that's why we would like to have our numbers 5. If we can have 5 guys in that room, so that one goes down, the next one's ready to go.
You talked about stopping Boston College's running game. Have you been pleased with your rush defense so far?
I think it's been pretty solid. We obviously think we can get better with it. We're getting ready to face a team that will certainly test that. I think they got a pretty solid offensive line, albeit a young offensive line, but they're talented, and then those 2 big backs, and they have really good tight ends. So we're gonna have to fit this this offense really well this week, and this will be a big test. We'll see kind of where we stack up in stopping the run this week. I think we've done a pretty good job thus far. Akers in Florida State, I think, is really talented running back, although a little bit different style, but that we'll see this week. But he had some pretty big runs, I thought, against us. But but we did. They wasn't like they rushed for over 300 yards. This week right here, this team can go over 300 if you're not fitting right, if you're not tackling. We've seen them do it, and they would love to be able to do that. If they don't have to throw it, that'd be good for them. So we have to be able to sell out and stop the run.
Coach, you mentioned Cam. I know AJ and Cam. Not comparing them elite-wise, just game style-wise. Mm-hmm. AJ's had 150 the last 3 games. What's different about those 2?
Well, he's just, it's a little bit different in the fact that Florida State, what they did with Cam is, they kind of spread you out, and now Akers has space, so now it's maybe one-on-one with a backer, and if I make that guy miss, then I can have a big run, a big play. Where these guys are going to be more utilizing tight ends, more compact sets, fullbacks, tight ends, and so now there's more guys in here, so he's getting those nasty yards, those tough, nasty yards, where guys are just hitting him, and he's falling forward for 4 to 5 yards. Those are, it can be demoralizing, because once you have everybody in the box, you can't go grab some more guys and put them in the box. You just can't. So you either can stop them or you don't. I think the key this week with Dylan and the other back is that you have to stop that momentum initially. I think once they cross the line of scrimmage now, they're able to fall forward 4 to 5, 6 yards, where if you can make them stop their feet in the backfield, they don't have the kind of just acceleration like right off the bat. But once they get going, they're hard to bring down, whereas Akers, he can be fast right now. I think that's probably the main difference there. They're both very talented. When you compare Akers to a Dylan, they're extremely talented the way they approach it, and great respect for both, but a little bit different style. So we want to try to get him stopped in the backfield as close to the line of scrimmage as possible, as opposed to getting them into that second level linebackers.
Is it the defensive line that is the key to stopping a running game like that?
Yeah, I think so. And what we doing is, the odd front where we're slanting and angling, we have to create freedom for our backers to be able to come up into the line of scrimmage, to make those contact right at the line of scrimmage, to where those linemen can't get up on the backer. So we have to create confusion up front and create some angles for our guys. And so that'll be big this week for our D-line. Huge deal to get up there and create that penetration, which I thought, at times Wake did that. I thought Wake's D-line at times were getting back, putting penetration on there, but still wasn't enough. Still I thought BC were able to move the ball.
Are you happy with your running game and the way the line has progressed up front for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've done a solid job this year. I think really just right out the gate against Notre Dame to be able to rush for 250 against that defense, I thought was very solid. Probably the most disappointing was the pass game we had. Didn't run as well as we would have liked. All 3 of their guys, 300 pounds up front. I thought they were good D-line that we played against. But we got to do a better job with it. running the football than we did in Florida State. I just thought, we want to be over 200 yards. I mean, that's kind of the benchmark we like to get, rushing the football, and we were not able to get there. So, we'll keep working at it and continue to try to get it. We got to try to find ways to run the ball, and within offensive formations, I think would help us a lot as well.
A little off topic, two-part question. California governor today signed the bill, Fair Pay to Play. How do you see this unfolding? Do you think it's a competitive disadvantage for schools outside of California? And would you favor adoption in Kentucky?
I don't know enough about it really to know. I think, if the governor passed that, what's the NCAA going to do? I think that's probably the next step, because they've also passed, marijuana is legal in several states, but it's still illegal to do that as far as NCAA goes. So, is it going to be legal or illegal NCAA wise? I think that's probably going to be the biggest question.
Coach, just for clarification, you expect, as of right now today, do you expect Malik or Puma to play on Saturday?
I do.
And why?
Well, just because they're getting, like I said, Malik practiced Sunday and was in cleats running around. So, I feel pretty good about him. If he'll make the same progress that he made last week, this week, then 100% is going to play. Puma's the biggest question in my mind.
And another question for you, Coach. The one thing you guys have kind of struggled with this year is getting interceptions. You guys did a really good job of that, especially with Brian Brown. Why do you think that is? Is it scheme? Like, what exactly is kind of the default with that right now?
Well, we got to get better in secondary. I think that's the bottom line. We're, some of the, if you're going to compare some of the guys we had at App compared to what we have here, those guys at App were, number one, had great ball skills in the secondary, and had great anticipation, and they would, step in front of receivers and just catch the football. I think that's the bottom line. We're running the same scheme, and there were times you go back at the Florida State game that, what's their favorite play they like to run is we call it a bang eight, just a skinny post. And, at times you just gotta recognize that, jump in front of that and pick that ball off. That's just an example that I've seen over the years that we've been able to do. So I think, but those are the two things. I think you got to have ball skill to be able to catch the football, and then you have to have great anticipation and great football awareness of what's going on, and that's down and distance, formation, their tendencies, all those things that we're coaching really hard right now to try to get. We just haven't clicked yet, So we'll continue to coach it, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of those. Yeah, it's disappointing right now. We haven't created very many turnovers, in 4 weeks. 0 interceptions, So we've, our defenses over in the past have been really good at that, really good at getting those interceptions, and so we'll keep coaching it, and hopefully we'll start getting some.
You talked about not just getting up here in the bye week, but getting better. Were there areas where you feel particularly that you might have, or can you judge that yet?
No, I think, it's just a work in progress. You're going to continue to get, and when you're getting better, may be just very small, and then so hopefully over a period of time we'll continue to get better and better and better, and continue to grow as a football team. We're the positive thing is, with 7 minutes to go, we're winning the football game in Tallahassee. We didn't finish it. Way too many mistakes. The big thing for us is just the mental errors that we're having all year. Really, we're 2-2. We've had a lot of mental errors. If we can clean those up, and we can, then we'll win some football games. I think that's what it's going to come down to. We're not good enough to go out there and just play and have mental mistakes, and we're not going to win very many games. We have to be very sharp mentally, play a clean game, then we can win some games. And when we do that, we're a good football team. When we don't, we're a really bad football team. So, our job as coaches and as players is really just to button up all that and continue to try to make less mental errors. And that's a work in progress right now, and that's where we're at. As we continue to play, we'll see. We'll see how we are and see how much better we're getting with it.
Have you ever been in a situation in your coaching career, either as an assistant or head coach, where with the quarterback situation where you didn't have every guy available, and if not, what's been the difficulty trying to juggle that?
No, I've definitely been in the situation. It's that's why you want to have a lot of quarterbacks. Because of that. I've gone into bowl games. It's kind of funny. We got Zeb Spear, who's our graduate assistant. He still has 1 year of eligibility left. So I thought about maybe having to dress him out. You know, you go to Florida State last week, we had 2 quarterbacks warming up. That was it. You know, I was kind of myself thinking, you know, Florida State coach are probably looking over, that's all they got is 2, you know, and that's really all we had, you know, and it's frustrating, you know, to not have many arms. And what's hard is in practice, you know, just throwing to routes to receivers. You know, you start wearing these guys out. Like Evan Conley's been the last week and a half is getting wore out, but he loves it though. But you like to have it. You know, I went to a bowl game. I think it was 2 years ago, and all we had was 1 quarterback, and that's when Zeb was like number 2 that day, and we didn't have to play him. You know, but I've also been years where Taylor Lamb started 4 years and didn't miss a game from the quarterback position. So it's you know, you just got to have those guys. You hope they stay healthy, but we know things happen, and you know, I think you know, that's why you got to have more guys. I mean, bottom line, you know, and you want them at every position. I think the quarterback is what everybody sees. You guys see it, the fans see it. Everybody sees that one position because we know every snap the hands touch the football, every snap. So you better have a guy there that can make things happen.
Coach, you've talked a lot about improving the passing game for your offense to be more efficient. Just in general, how do you improve a quarterback's, being somebody who played the position, how do you improve accuracy in a quarterback? Is that technique or is that something that just works?
Accuracy is, you know, usually you have it or you don't. And once you get to college, you know, it's hard to tweak any kind of mechanical issues once you get into college because the habits you've created are really kind of who you are at this point. I think what you try to do as coaches to help these guys out is to find ways where they can have just some easy completions. We've tried to do that this year. You know, we've got the jet sweep where we toss it. That's a completion. You know, and the little slips with the tight ends. Those are completions. Those are easy completions, but they help your completion percentage and it gives quarterbacks a little bit more confidence to when I do throw the ball down the field. Hey, I'm in a rhythm right now. So those are things we can do as coaches, scheme wise. And then you work on it every day. We've got all the apparatus, the nets, and all the different things, and we work in the footwork drills, and then throwing accurate balls. You know, you just continue to work on it. You know, and I think again, you may see small incremental improvements, but they're not maybe major. But the positive thing is we're taking care of the football. We've done some good things in that. We've thrown our touchdown to interception ratio is really pretty good. So we've done some good things in it. You know, and I think. We got the ball to Fitz the last game, which was good. We got to continue to do that. I'd like to get the ball more, maybe to Ford. I think when the ball's in his hands, if you go back and look at this season, he's made big plays. He's a good target for us, so if we can get the ball to him. We haven't thrown the ball to the backs. I think we need to start doing a little bit more of that. Those are things that help your completion percentage, and it keeps pressure on the defense. And then when we do take shots down the field, you know, we got to hit them. We hit Fitz on the one. It was a great throw and catch there. We had 2-2 down the sideline. We had 4 down the sideline last week. I mean, so some more of those type throws that we have to be able to hit. But I think, you know, you just continue to work on it. But usually when you get to college, you recruit guys that can throw, you know. And I go to Aaron Rodgers. If you go back to Aaron Rodgers when he was in high school, his junior college at Cal and in NFL, he's never thrown picks. He just hasn't. That's just, he's accurate, and he doesn't throw the ball into those coverages. And so a lot of that stuff is what you recruit. You know, you're getting what you're going to get.
Did the North Carolina-Clemson game do anything to change your mind about either A, the conference, or B, Clemson's supposed invincibility?
Well, yeah, it showed Clemson's human, I think, after that game. You know, I watched a little bit of that one. I thought North Carolina did a great job defensively to get after him. And, you know, they still got tons of talent at Clemson. You know, they lost a lot of players to the NFL. You know, you look at what their D-line, and they replaced them with some great players, just not as experienced probably. North Carolina did a good job. They scored early. I think you got to do that when you're playing a team like that, just like we did at Notre Dame, just to give you some confidence to say we can play with these guys. And then you know, they kind of frustrated Trevor Lawrence a little bit, got after him a little bit. You know, it just proves that we're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds week in and week out. You know, and I think sometimes everybody, media and fans and everybody, try to put some of these teams up on a pedestal. You know, your Alabamas and Clemsons and Ohio States and those type. But you know, on a given Saturday, if things don't go right, it can get beat. It doesn't matter who it is. And so I think it just proves that. You know, it comes down, if North Carolina scores that 2 points, they probably win the game. You know, and it was an incredible upset. But they didn't. You know, Clemson won again. And I don't know how many that is in a row. It's a lot. But they've done a great job down there. But it just proves that, you know, if things go right, you can go win the game.